Do you ever feel like you're being pecked to death by ducks? A glitchy phone, a confusing letter from Medicare, another scam call. Then someone posts something idiotic online, and you're just this close from losing it. Well, you're not crazy, and you're certainly not alone. Here's the thing. The chaos of life may never stop, but we can learn to stop reacting to it. Let's talk about building a kind of inner stillness, not by tuning out, but by tuning in to something deeper. And believe it or not, the ancient Stoics have something to say to us right now in this noisy, tech-cluttered, unpredictable age in which we live. Now look, I'm not some Zen master sitting cross-legged on some mountaintop. I'm just a 74-year-old guy trying to make sense of the modern world with fewer hormones and more time to think. And lately, I've been tuning into Stoic ideas, and not because I want to sound wise, but because they work. These ideas that I share aren't magic, they're powerful tools. And like a good tool, they work better the more we use them. So let's add some tools to our emotional toolbox today. Specifically, today I want to talk about the pause and pivot tool. First, a hard truth. It's not the nonsense itself. It's what we let it do to us that really gets us. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that really matters. Now, I know we've heard things like this before, but let's really chew on it. That canceled appointment that you waited weeks for, that relative that only calls when they really want something, that urgent email from your doctor that turns out to be just a billing question. These aren't just annoyances, they're opportunities to practice how we show up every day. They help us remember that we can't control the world, but we can steer our minds. Here's a way I've started thinking about it. Daily nonsense is like static on the radio. You're trying to tune your life into something meaningful, something real, something steady. But the noise is deafening. So the question becomes, what do you end up tuning into? If your dial lands on cable news or petty drama and endless minor complaints, of course you're going to feel scrambled. But what if instead, each morning you asked, what's my signal going to be today? Peace? Resilience? Strength? And what if you actually practice staying tuned to that signal, no matter how much nonsense tries to pull you off? Here's where you and I, being more seasoned than our younger counterparts, have a big leg up. We've been through messes before. Lost jobs, sick kids, financial worries, death, divorce, regrets. And guess what? We're still here. We've made it through. So let's stop pretending that we're fragile. We're not. We're tested. And the Stoics would say, that's gold. Marcus Aurelius put it like this: you have the power over your mind and not outside events. Realize this and you will find the strength. At 60, 70, 80, beyond, we're at the perfect stage in our lives to embrace this. We've lived enough life to know that freaking out just doesn't help. We've in effect learned to pause before responding to things, which is a Stoic principle. Here's something that helps me. Maybe you've done something similar. I call it the Stoics' pause and pivot method. The next time nonsense shows up at your door, pause. Literally stop what you're doing for a few moments. Breathe, then pivot. Ask yourself, what's a better way to respond than the one I'm thinking about right now? That moment is very powerful. This is where our growth lives. It's your maturity. A driver cuts you off, pause, pivot. Maybe they're rushing to the hospital. Tech issues driving you nuts? Pause, pivot. This is training in patience. A family member disappoints you again? Pause, pivot. What response reflects the kind of person that you want to be? Let me give you an example from my own life. A while back, I had to deal with the DMV. And yeah, you probably know where this is going. But I came in with every form of proof, every piece of identification known to mankind. But after waiting in line forever, the clerk, after looking through the paperwork and asking me a couple of questions, flat out accused me of lying with my answer. And she didn't just say something was wrong, she accused me of lying. Now, I don't know about you, but when someone questions my integrity like that, it really does get to me. My heart was pounding, and I could feel myself starting to lose it a little bit. But then I remembered pause and pivot. I didn't need to win this moment. I needed to stay me. And I stopped. I took a breath, and I reminded myself, this person doesn't know me. She might be stressed or overworked. Who knows? Perhaps an earlier customer gave her a hard time. So I calmly asked if we could go through the documents again and try to resolve things. And I kept my tone level, even though inside I was running a little hot. In the end, it all got resolved in my favor. And I walked out feeling something more important than I was right. I felt centered. That's what Stoicism teaches us. You don't have to let someone else's problem become your problem. You don't have to let someone else's moment become your bad day. Now, I don't always get it right, but every time I do, I feel more free, more like me. Now, here's another Stoic trick worth gold. Not everything deserves our energy. The Stoics called this the discipline of assent. It means before you believe or react to something, check it first. Ask, is this actually important? Is this within my control? Will it matter in a week or two? If the answer is no to these questions, then let it go. Let it float away like a hot air balloon. You'll be amazed at how light you feel when you stop carrying things that aren't yours. Here's a quick tool from Seneca you could use tonight. At the end of your day, ask yourself, what nonsense rattled me today? And how did I respond? If it wasn't a response that you particularly cared for, then ask, what would a wiser version of me have done? This isn't trivial. This is growth. Quiet, steady growth. And it's a lot more powerful than venting, stewing, or acting as if you're above it all. Let's work together. We don't have to walk this path alone. Whether you're 64, 74, or 84, wait, no matter what your age, if you're trying to live with a little more peace, a little more purpose, come back often. This channel, this conversation is a place for thoughtful people of all ages, figuring things out together, not chasing perfection, just walking the road together. So let me ask you, what's your nonsense lately? And more importantly, what's your response? Drop a comment. Share your version of pause and pivot. We're here to grow together. And remember, the world may never stop being noisy, but you can become someone calm in the storm. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss more episodes in this Stoic series. Until next time, stay grounded, stay growing, and keep rising above the nonsense. I'm Mel Englema, and I hope to see you again here very soon. Thank you.